What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today, I want to talk about how it looks like the Jets will be losing Morgan Moses to free agency. Today's video is powered by BetUS, the official sportsbook sponsor of the channel. NFL season is over, but if you've been following along with what's going on in hockey right now, the Four Nations tournament, I cannot get enough of it. Canada versus US on Saturday was epic. We got a rematch on Thursday, this time for the championship. If you want to put a little wager on it, here's a look at the odds. I'm looking at the Americans at -109 for the win. Sign me up, baby. Sign up using promo code YouTube150 and get a 150% match deposit bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. So Connor Hughes of SNY shared in a column that right tackle Morgan Moses is unlikely to return to the New York Jets, which is unfortunate news, I think anyway, because I was definitely team bring Morgan Moses back. It would have been nice to have some continuity on the offensive line where you return all 5 starters from a year ago. By the time, the Jets really got into it, where Tyron Smith was injured and the Jets started Olu Fashanu at left tackle. Once they made that change, the offensive line drastically improved. And I was kind of hoping to see Moses be that veteran presence on the line and then also maybe take a young pup under his wing to bring him along to eventually take over as a starter. But doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. And I'm wondering, because we don't have the news from Connor Hughes, I'm wondering if this is more from the Jets side or more from Morgan Moses' side. And if it's Moses, I get it. If he wants to move on and try to find the contender and get a championship before retiring. He's in his mid-30s now. He doesn't have very many years left in the league. He doesn't owe it to the Jets. As much as I love Morgan Moses, a big fan of him, the first time around when they signed him and then traded for him this past year. Again, I don't have any blame or ill will towards him if he wants to move on and try to sign on with a team that is going to be competing for a championship. Now, if it's from the Jets side or from the Jets point of view, I would be a little bit surprised by this decision. I get it. He was a little banged up last year, but I thought he was a perfectly adequate right tackle when he was healthy and out there for most of the year. And he's the kind of veteran leader that I think you could really rely on. So again, from the Jets side, if this is their decision, I don't love it. From Morgan Moses' side, I understand. I get it. So the Jets are going to need a new right tackle. So I'll give you some free agent options, some notable cut/trade options, and then some NFL draft options here. So free agency doesn't look amazing. Like you have Jedrick Wills, who has injury concerns. Trent Brown also has injury concerns. Joe Noteboom with the Rams, very limited snaps, but has looked solid in those limited snaps, especially this past year. So maybe, but not the most appealing free agent class outside of Morgan Moses. Notable cut or trade candidates. So these guys would be intriguing to me, starting with Caleb McGarry from the Atlanta Falcons. He's been their right tackle for a long time. If they were to move on from him and cut him, they would save $14.5 million. Just a solid plus starting level right tackle who's 30 years old, still in the prime of his career for an offensive lineman. That would be a no-brainer that I think you jump on immediately. Jack Conklin, same kind of deal, solid right tackle, was hurt a couple years ago, came back and was good this past year. Cleveland would free up $4.6 million by cutting him. And granted, this is a long time ago now, but the Jets did originally have interest in him when he was a free agent, leaving the Tennessee Titans before he eventually signs with the Cleveland Browns. In the NFL draft, the Jets could target someone like Will Campbell in round 1. He's been a popular mock draft for the New York Jets, 7th overall. Now, he would be changing positions, going from left tackle to right tackle. I think what we saw out of Olu Fashanu in year 1, you kind of just want to leave him on the left side. He did not look the same on the right side of the offensive line, and he just has never played right tackle in his life. He's been a left tackle his entire career. Don't mess with it. Just kind of put him in his spot, let him grow. And that's part of the reason why I don't love the idea of Will Campbell, because he would be having to make the switch from left tackle to right tackle. But if you're looking for a more prototypical right tackle in the draft, in the second round out of BC, Ozzy Tripolo, I think would be an interesting name for the Jets to target. Has a lot of flexibilities, played all across the line for BC. And you don't have to spend the first round pick on it. The Jets do have a relatively high second, so they could target a different position in the first round, then try to find their right tackle in the second, and maybe they add a cheaper veteran option as well. But moral of the story, the Jets will likely have to be looking for a new right tackle. Many ways you could attack this, whether it's free agency, cut candidates / trade options, or the NFL draft. Let me know your thoughts and who you think the Jets should go after to fill that right tackle role. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.